Hey beautiful souls, welcome to my channel. My name is Akasha and I am an intuitive and evolutionary astrologer. I don't follow the modern mainstream system of astrology, commonly known as tropical astrology, which is mainly used in the Western world, as this system of astrology is not aligned with the correct positions of the celestial bodies within the constellations. I follow constellational astrology, also known as true sidereal astrology, which is aligned with the correct current positions of the celestial bodies within the constellations. If you'd like to know more about this, watch my first video, Realigning with Real Astrology. So today I want to talk about the astrological energies that we're going to be moving throughout the month of December. Before I begin, I would like to talk a little bit about the energies we've just been moving through towards the end of November, as we've just experienced a significant shift. On the 30th of November, the Sun and Mercury moved out of the constellation of Scorpio and into the constellation of Ophiuchus. Scorpio is a very small constellation, so the Sun and Mercury were only moving through Scorpio for around a week, but it was definitely an intense week energetically. During this week, I felt personally and also that the collective, we were all being pulled deep within to sit with our shadow being any parts of ourselves that we have suppressed and have been afraid to face for so long that it has not seen the light and it has become a part of our shadow. Any thoughts, any emotions, any memories that we have buried, and not just within ourselves but also within society, things that are dark that we are afraid to face. This is what Scorpio rules over, this realm of darkness that we are so often afraid to shine a light on. But without facing this darkness, without facing the shadows that are lurking underneath the surface within us and within society, we will not be able to heal. We will not be able to transform and create the positive change that we wish to see within ourselves and within the world around us. So during that week, the Sun was really shining light upon these shadows so that we could see them and they would no longer be shadows. While Mercury was shifting our attention to our mind and showing us how what we have been afraid to face, what we have been pushing down, has been affecting our thinking patterns, our mental health. When we are avoiding thinking or feeling something, we often turn to coping mechanisms that distract us or numb us, and this actually drives us further into the mind. It creates a separation between our body and our mind, and it actually drives us further into the darkness, further into fear, and creates an even bigger shadow that we will have to face later, because everything that we suppress eventually surfaces. We cannot escape it forever. Scorpio was showing us what we need to release, what we need to surrender to, and what needs to die so that we can be reborn, so that we can transform. Scorpio is death, whereas Ophiuchus is rebirth. But we can't step into that rebirth energy until we surrender and allow what needs to die to die. This is challenging enough to do within individually, but in society, in the collective as a whole, there have been so many intense shifts happening lately. Everything that's been going on in society, so much darkness has been surfacing, and this has been really hard for a lot of people to become aware of. There are many corrupt systems that are in need of crumbling. There are many aspects of society that need to die, but so many people have been really holding on because they want to stay in a sense of control and safety. They want to hold on to what they have always known. They don't know what to do or where to go next, so they are holding on to these parts of society and themselves that need to die. But the more we do this, the more we stay in that place of fear and darkness. But once we just fully surrender to everything that is happening internally and externally, once we let go and accept that we do not know and just fully surrender, we create space for insight to come through. Once we do this, we are able to move into the energy of Ophiuchus. The Sun and Mercury are now traveling through this beautiful constellation that has been hidden from us for a long time. It isn't a new constellation, it isn't a new discovery. It has simply been hidden from us. And it is understandable since the energies of Ophiuchus are so very potent and powerful. Ophiuchus too is very connected to the darkness. Ophiuchus is connected to the void. But whereas the energy of Scorpio is a lot heavier, I feel, a lot more weighed down by this darkness, and that's why it is so hard to rise from that energy of Scorpio at times, because we really feel overwhelmed and weighed down by the darkness. It is the first sign of the zodiac that we really move into being aware of all the darkness and being aware of all of the intensities of existence. So of course that Scorpio energy is a lot heavier. Whereas once we surrender to that and allow everything that we need to release to be released, we can move into the energy of Ophiuchus, which is still within those realms of the darkness. But we are now in the void of pure potential and endless possibilities where anything can be created and birthed, because we have now released what needs to be released. We have gone through the death, and now we are in the stage of rebirth and transformation. So the sun is shining light upon this void and showing us that it really is a place for something so beautiful to be created. And Mercury is drawing our attention to the realms of the mind, so our thinking patterns, our subconscious, the way we learn, the way we communicate, the way we share information using tools that were created by the mind, such as technology and social media. All of these areas of our lives, we are being called to feel into what wants to be birthed there, what wants to be created in these areas of our lives. How can we transform the way we've been acting and moving through these areas and create something beautiful and new? On the 4th of December, there will be the new moon in the sign of Ophiuchus, as well as a solar eclipse, the second eclipse of eclipse season. The energy here will be so very transformational, so very potent and powerful, as the energy of Ophiuchus is already so powerful on its own. Combined with a new moon and an eclipse, this is going to be so transformational. New moons are usually a time to really go within and feel into what needs to be released and what wants to be birthed, which seeds want to be planted, which intentions want to be set for the upcoming new cycle. But since this is an eclipse, the emphasis will be more on releasing, really just moving through any of that Scorpio energy that we may not be finished with yet, really just allowing anything that still needs to be released and die to leave our systems, and really focusing on this before we set any new intentions. I just want to add that some sidereal astrologers say that this new moon and eclipse will be occurring in the sign of Scorpio, while some are saying it will be occurring in Ophiuchus. Personally, I am going with the astronomical data that I have been looking at, which tells me that this new moon and eclipse will be occurring within the constellation of Ophiuchus. So even within sidereal astrology, there are still some discrepancies. However, rest assured that this system of astrology is much more closely connected to the true positions of the celestial bodies within the constellations, while the tropical system is out of sync with the true positions by pretty much an entire constellation. I have noticed that with the constellations of Scorpio and Ophiuchus, because the Scorpio constellation is so small, I think there are some differences in opinion around the boundaries of these constellations. But again, I'm just going to go with the astronomical data, which shows that this new moon and eclipse will be occurring within Ophiuchus. However, that Scorpio and Ophiuchus energy can be hard to separate, and I do still feel some of that Scorpio energy present. So I feel that both can be accurate energetically, especially as this is an eclipse, and eclipses always carry that death energy, which is very connected to Scorpio. On the 1st of December, Neptune stationed direct after being in retrograde since around the end of June in the constellation of Aquarius. So this is quite a powerful shift. Neptune reflects our relationship with our intuition, with the spiritual realm, with our highest self, and Aquarius energy is much more logical. It is to do with evolution and creating new things, and really how we evolve as a society and as a collective. And I say that Aquarius is quite logical because Aquarius is connected to new inventions, new technology, and we see a lot of Aquarian energy within society. As a species, we have been evolving very rapidly, technologically and logically, and this is not inherently a bad thing. It is not inherently negative. However, the way we have been doing this as a species has been coming from a very disconnected place, a very imbalanced place. And the technological advancements that we have been seeing have been having harmful effects towards us and other living beings and this planet. While we have been evolving so much logically and technologically, we have almost been devolving spiritually and emotionally. We have forgotten the deeper aspects of existence. We have forgotten our connection with nature and our own true nature. And Neptune has really been reminding us of this and showing us this imbalance between those Neptunian and Aquarian energies. The energy of Neptune can also become very distorted when it is out of balance. When we have this Neptunian energy not coming from a centered place, we can really slip into illusion, which is something we have also been seeing within the collective for a long time now. Now that Neptune is out of retrograde, this will become even more clear, and hopefully we will feel more called as a collective to come back into balance with these energies and aspects of ourselves and existence, and continue to evolve, but in a way that is in balance with nature and spirit, and not just the logical mind and technology that serves a purpose that is disconnected from the highest good of all. There is no doubt that humanity definitely has been waking up to the truth that has been hidden from us and buried for so long, the truth that has been forgotten. We definitely have been seeing so many people worldwide remembering the deeper aspects of this existence, remembering what is important, and remembering our connection with all of existence, remembering those spiritual aspects of ourselves and what we came here to do. Now that Neptune is out of retrograde, I feel that we will be seeing this spiritual evolution happening in the collective even more so. On the 12th of December, Mercury will be shifting out of Ophiuchus and into Sagittarius, and the Sun will be joining Mercury in the constellation of Sagittarius on the 18th. So we will be moving out of that void of creation and infinite potential, where we will be really focusing on planting those seeds and setting those new intentions, and then moving into the energy of Sagittarius will allow those seeds to bloom and blossom, and will really push us to move out of our comfort zones and take action on our new intentions and really just expand and grow and break free from any limitations. The sun will really be shining light on this, really motivating us all to do this, and Mercury will be drawing our attention to the areas of the mind, and this Sagittarian energy will show us where we have been restricted within our mind, thinking patterns and beliefs, all of this programming that we have been subjected to within this society, and there will be a strong desire to break free from that and connect with our inner guidance and access higher knowledge that has been suppressed within this society. Jupiter, the planet that rules very similar themes to Sagittarius, all about moving out of our comfort zones and breaking free from restrictions and limitations and following that inner guidance and tuning into higher knowledge rather than the very limited knowledge that we have been given access to in this society, the very limited knowledge that has been pushed upon us to serve an agenda that is not aligned with our evolution and our highest potential. Jupiter has been moving through the energy of Capricorn, which is a very different energy. Capricorn is very structured and restrictive. We see a lot of Capricorn energy within the societal systems that we have been living in. Capricorn is connected to time and law and structure, and we can see a lot of this in society. We have really been living in this way for a long time, very restricted. And Jupiter, while moving through this energy, has been calling us to identify all of the ways that society has restricted our freedom and expansion and the knowledge that has been hidden from us. And we have really been called to break free from this. On the 15th, Jupiter will be moving into the constellation of Aquarius. So again, that very evolutionary, innovative energy calling us to evolve and create something new and move away from outdated ways of being that are not serving us. Aquarian energy can be very positive when it is coming from a centered place. When we evolve and move forward and create new inventions from a place that is very distorted, of course, these inventions, these technologies, and the way we evolve is going to be distorted as well. We will be evolving away from nature, away from our own true nature, and evolving in a way that is very stuck in the mind and very imbalanced. But when we evolve from a balanced and centered place, when we are connected to nature and our own true nature and our connection with everything, we will evolve in a way that is so beautiful and in harmony with all of existence and the highest good for all of us. And what we create, new technologies and inventions that we create, will not be harmful to ourselves or the world around us. So hopefully this Jupiter energy mixing with this Aquarian energy will really help us to identify the ways that we have been evolving from a distorted place and reconnect with our inner guidance and higher knowledge and evolve from this place. I feel that during this time we will see even more technological advancements, and we will see a rapid rise in our spiritual evolution. I really feel and hope that the combination of this Jupiter energy, which is a lot more connected to our inner guidance, and the combination of this Aquarian energy, which is quite logical, will be combined and come into balance. There has been such a separation in the society for a long time between logic and intuition, between science and spirituality, but they do not need to be separated. They need to come together so that we can come back into balance. Mars, the planet that reflects our relationship with our primal nature, with our survival instincts, has been moving through the energy of Libra. So these energies are quite different. Mars is very connected to our individuality and our desire to protect ourselves, while Libra is more focused on others and how our actions affect others. And Libra has really been reminding us during this time that we are all connected. We have been seeing a lot of division and defensiveness within society lately because of what has been going on. We have been seeing a lot of arguing, people defending their beliefs, and people moving from a place of fear in order to protect themselves, which is understandable. But Libra has been reminding us that our individual beliefs are not a permanent part of our identity, but what is permanent and what is so much more important is our connection with each other. Libra has been reminding us that peace and protection for all of us is possible, but we have to stop directing this fiery Mars energy, this anger at each other, and instead we need to come together and channel that fiery energy of Mars, that sacred rage and that desire to protect ourselves. We need to be channeling that in a way that protects the collective, that protects all of us, that protects our connection and the planet, rather than just directing that anger all over the place and protecting our individual selves and our beliefs. We can be coming together instead and working together to create peace and protection for all of us. On the 16th, Mars will be moving into the constellation of Scorpio. So this is likely to be quite an intense transit, as the energy of Scorpio is so intense and the energy of Mars is intense, both in their own ways. It's likely that we will be shown all of the ways that our Mars expressions, so emotions like anger and defensiveness and maybe things like jealousy or just anything that threatens our sense of being safe or our individuality, any emotions that are connected to that, we will be shown how these emotions are expressed in shadowy ways. So if we have been suppressing any of these emotions, we will be shown how they are playing out, coming from our shadow. If we suppress feelings like anger or jealousy, or any emotions that are quite related to our lower chakras and our safety and our individuality, when we suppress these emotions, they don't just go away, they're going to come out, and they're going to come out in harmful ways if we don't face them and work through them mindfully. We are going to be shown all of the ways that these emotions play out in a dark way in this society. Unfortunately, this unconscious Mars energy is very prevalent in this society because of the way that the system is set up and because of all of the division that's being created and how much our survival instincts are activated. We do see a lot of this energy playing out within society, a lot of this anger being directed towards each other, a lot of acting out of fear because people believe it's the only way to protect themselves. Things like violence occur when this Mars energy is expressed from our shadow side. So Scorpio is really going to be showing us where this is present within us and within the collective, and this is likely to be an intense transit to move through. So if we just really try our best to be aware of that and stay mindful, stay grounded, try our best to be patient and just keep that awareness of this is what we are being shown, and we are being shown this so that we can acknowledge it and change the way that we are expressing this energy. We will be shown all of the ways that we have been dealing with this energy in unhealthy ways. We will be shown which patterns need to die, which patterns we need to release so that we can come to a healthy place of dealing with this energy. Since Scorpio is a smaller constellation, Mars will only be moving through this energy for until the 25th, when Mars will be shifting into Ophiuchus. So after we move through that deep release, we will be moving into that energy of Ophiuchus in relation to Mars and feeling into which new seeds want to be planted, which new intentions want to be set, and how can we transform and move forward with this Mars energy in a healthier way. Instead of this Mars energy coming out in destructive ways, how can we use that inner fire to create positive change on this planet and really use it as fuel and motivation to create the change we wish to see and put our energy into protecting what is truly important? On the 19th, Venus will be moving into retrograde. Venus is the planet that reflects the way we relate with others and what our values and desires are when it comes to relationships. All kinds of intimate relationships within our lives, but also, of course, romantic and sexual relationships. Venus has been moving through the energy of Sagittarius. So again, that energy that calls us to move out of our comfort zones and break free from any limitations and restrictions that have been placed upon us and move into a higher expression. So this transit has really been calling us to reflect on all of the ways that we have been conditioned and programmed when it comes to the way we relate with others, and especially when it comes to our beliefs on love and romance and sexuality and intimate relationships of all kinds. So as Venus moves into retrograde, we will be called to feel even more deeply into this and really reflect on which patterns we have been carrying when it comes to the way we relate and which patterns we need to release because they aren't serving our happiness and our growth. Venus will remain in Sagittarius for this entire month, and this retrograde will continue until towards the end of January. So this will really be a time of breaking free from any limiting beliefs and any desires that we may have or values that we may have when it comes to relationships that have come from a distorted place of conditioning. We will really be breaking free from that and moving into a higher expression in the way we relate. We will really be evolving the way we relate with others. So that is it for the astrological insights for this month. As these shifts happen throughout the month, I think that I will make individual videos about them as well as individual posts on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, I will write it down below. But yeah, I just like the idea of uploading a astrological forecast video at the beginning of each month. So let me know what you all think. Do you like these videos? Let me know how you have been feeling in regards to the celestial energies that have been present. I am always curious to hear your experiences and insights as well. Thank you for watching, beautiful souls. I will talk to you all again soon.